Kyra and welcome back to my channel. So I ended off my last video, which was the makeup for beginners or beginners basics. I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet, but it was the foundation fundamentals video where I basically broke down how to find your correct undertone, how to determine your skin type, how to go in store, select foundation, how to shade match, and also how to test when you get home. That video is very, very, very thorough and very detailed. So if you're having issues with finding the correct shade, then definitely go ahead and check out that video. But that was definitely the fundamentals and the very bare basics. But this one here is more so focused on how to actually apply your foundation to get a very flawless finish. How to make sure that it matches perfectly, how to get it nice and even, how to get it to be full coverage without all the cakiness. There's tons of tips and tricks throughout this video, and I want you guys to really pay attention and watch because it's so important to make sure that your base and your foundation is flawless. Because to me, flawless skin and a flawless base is a perfect, canvas for the perfect makeup look. Now, before I go ahead and jump into the actual tutorial, I want to just reiterate something that I talk about all the time, which is the importance of your skincare regimen. Okay, so we can talk about foundation, how to pick it, how to apply it all day long, y'all. But if your skin is not together, it makes things so much more difficult. I cannot tell you how many times I've had clients who come to me with this vision and this idea of how they want their skin to look, but they don't take care of their skin. Makeup is just makeup. Makeup applies to whatever you apply it to. So if you apply it to skin that has not been exfoliated, that has not been, that you have not, cleansed your pores, if you have a lot of blackheads or like built up gunk in your nose, on your cheeks, if you apply makeup on top of that, makeup will not cover that up. I mean, it'll cover it up artificially, but that texture and those bumps and, that uneven skin texture, that will all still be there, whether you like it or not. Like it is what it is. Like makeup lays onto whatever you put it on. So if this is all bumpy and it's not well taken care of, then it is what it is. So I highly encourage you guys, before you even jump into foundation, to really reevaluate your skin care regimen. I have multiple regimens here on my channel. I actually recently did a skin self-care, skin routine video on my channel. Check that out. There's tons of different things you can do to help, clear up and just really give your skin a nice, facelift. My recommendations are exfoliating. Find a good exfoliator. Use a spin brush. Use a good scrub. Just exfoliate, because exfoliating helps to remove all that extra dead skin. It helps to really even out that skin tone and that skin texture. Exfoliate. Really get a good, of course, cleansing routine going, a good moisturizing routine going, and drink a lot of water. This is the most important thing people don't realize. Drink a lot of water. The more water you drink, the more it's washing out, those toxins and all stuff that you're eating. I eat really terribly, so I have to drink a lot of water to really keep my skin balanced. Charcoal mask, clay mask, I do the whole nine. I extract my pores weekly. I shave my face, y'all. So it's a lot of things that I do. Again, and check out my skin care routine videos to get the tea as far as what I do. But that is so, so, so important. I'll go ahead and stop rambling and hop into the actual tutorial as far as how I apply foundation. But just remember that skincare is most important. All right, so we've gone ahead and we have done all the steps. We have came home, we've tested our foundation, we picked the right shade, exchanged if we needed to, figured out which one does and does not work for us. Again, you guys, sometimes it's all trial and error. Like, it's a matter of just figuring out which one works best, especially if you're dealing with a brand that has a huge shade range, which is a plus. But sometimes, y'all, it's a lot of work to find like the perfect one. Like with Fenty or Juvia's Place, for example, or even like my Lancome. You guys know I love Lancome, but even with that one, like there's a ton of options. So it may take some trial and error to find the perfect one, but just take your time, figure it out and work with it. So to end off the video, I want to show you guys how I customize a foundation if it doesn't work for me, and then also how I apply it, which is pretty straightforward. So by customizing, what I mean is that there have been times where I have found a foundation that I love. I love the finish. I love the consistency. I love the formula. I love how it wears. I love everything about it, except the fact that I cannot find my exact shade in the shade range. Okay. It's either a smidget too light. It's either a smidget too dark. It's like, it's just something is off. So first of all, what I do is I always pick the shade that's lighter. To me, in my opinion, it is much easier to darken foundation than it is to lighten foundation, because depending on the formula, that pigment in that foundation may be really, really hard to lift. So I'll pick the shade that's as close to my foundation as I can get, but that's the lighter version as opposed to the darker version. And then I will just go home and apply like 1 or 2 drops of a darker foundation to help balance it out. And that has always worked for me. So for example, if I were, let's say, just random. Okay. So let's say I had my CoverGirl Full Spectrum foundation, but I only had the shade Tan Golden 1. Now I am in the shade Tan Golden 2, which obviously is a little bit darker. But let's say Tan Golden 2 didn't exist, okay? I only had shade Tan Golden 1, but I love this foundation so much that I wanted to make it work. So I take this, apply it to the back of my hand, okay? Which honestly is not that far off. It's just too light. And then I would take a darker foundation. So the one that I always keep on hand, and I love this one because it has never failed me yet. It's the MAC Matchmaster in the shade 7.5, which 7.5 alone is too dark for me. But I always keep 7.5 on deck specifically for mixing into foundations. Okay, so I would take the shade Tan Golden 1. I apply like 2 or 3 pumps of it. Then I take like 2 pumps of the MAC Matchmaster. 1, 2. To my finger. And just mix it up. And as you can see, just applying 1 to 2 drops of a darker foundation instantly makes the foundation match. It balances it out. It's a super duper easy way to customize a foundation that you love, but that you can't find your exact shade in. And that's why I keep just one good handy dandy dark foundation in rotation. This is the only darker foundation that I own, and I only use this for darkening foundation. So just find one good one and just keep it around, and you can always have it to mix and customize foundations. And so now we went from this shade, again, here's Tan Golden 1 by itself, obviously too light, to now having mixed it, and we get this. Y'all see that? And it's super, super, super duper easy. Okay, so wiping this off, I'm going to go ahead and apply it. And I want to show you guys my 3 favorite brushes, my 3 favorite Holy Grail brushes to apply foundation. And what I do is whenever I'm looking for a good foundation brush, I prefer one that's either dome shaped, like this one, which is the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush, or the Morphe M439 brush. So you see they're both dome shaped. I love these. Or like a flat kabuki brush. And this is the Sigma Flat Kabuki F80 brush. The reason why I prefer either dome shaped or flat kabuki brushes is because whenever I apply foundation, I stipple it. Okay, so I may blend it just a little bit with like soft swirly motions, but whenever I'm really applying it and trying to get a really even, flawless coverage, you want to stipple, and I'll show you guys why. But these are my 3 favorite ones. The e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush is the cheapest. It's $6. It is phenomenal. I love this brush so much, but you do get what you pay for. So like it only lasts like 2 or 3 months and it starts to break up and you have to buy another one. So that's the only con about it, but it is great. And then I also do love the Sigma F80 and the Morphe M439. I love, love, love these brushes. Let's take this and dot this all over. Now, I prefer to apply it kind of all over, kind of dot it all over like that, just because to me, it makes getting a nice even coverage so much easier if you disperse it all over like that, as opposed to applying it in one space and trying to blend just one little area out. To me, it makes things easier if you apply dots all over and then go in and blend it all out. So I'll take a brush and I will spray it like once or twice with just some kind of setting spray. And then I'll go in and just blend it out. Okay, so first I'm just distributing it all over. So I will use soft, light swiping motions. But the main thing I do is I stipple. And the reason why I stipple, which stippling just means you kind of pouncing it, right, back and forth. The reason why is because stippling it allows the product to distribute without leaving any streaks or lines. And that is so important because you don't want streaky foundation. Because if I were to do this, that would leave streaks. Like you're literally streaking the foundation. And you don't want to leave streaks. Like that's the number one thing. You do not want to leave streaks. Now, I will note that I did go ahead and apply a primer before I start the video. But I am going to do a whole separate video breaking down primers very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. So going back and just stippling the foundation and just stippling it all over. Now, as y'all can see, just with those drops, we already basically have a flawless coverage. Like, just look at that. It's nice. It's even. There's no streaks at all. There's no patchy places. There's no caked up areas. Like, it's all nice and even. And that's why I prefer applying the dots all over and then using the stippling motion to blend it out, because it just makes things look so much nicer and cleaner. Also, when you're applying foundation, make sure you blend the foundation into your hairline, y'all. That is so important. Okay, make sure you blend it into your hairline. You do not want to stop, like, don't stop like right here in front of the hairline. You have to blend it into your hairline, because if you don't, you know how I see people walking around with like just like the cast, or like it looks like a mask? That's what happens if you don't blend it into your hairline. So you want to blend it all the way into your hairline. Like, don't worry about, you know, the makeup getting in your hair or like mixing with your edge control. Like, sis, just do it. I'm telling you, just do it. You want to apply it and bring it on to the ears to make it all blend. And then, of course, tying in the neck area, you want to also drag the foundation. That sounds funny, drag. You want to also drag the foundation downwards. You all see me do this in all my videos, and it's just because it helps to keep things nice and seamless, okay? So I always drag the foundation downward. Now, I don't have to bring it all the way down here and like onto my chest. That's a bit excessive, but I always make sure that I do blend my foundation that's on my face down onto my neck. Another tip that I have is to make sure that you start off a little bit and then build up as needed. I used to be the queen of cake face, y'all. Like, I used to really apply a lot of foundation, okay? Just because. I still may do it every now and then, okay? But for the most part, I've toned it down a lot. And I used to apply a lot of foundation. Now, I don't really do so anymore. We don't need super full coverage all over. Okay, so I apply like 1 to 2, maybe like 2.5 or 3 pumps all over. Blend it all out. And then take a look in the mirror and figure out if there are any areas that need a little bit more coverage. You know, if I had a pimple, I would apply more there. Y'all know that my trouble areas are like right here under my eyes. So I go in and add a little bit more, like right there, just to build that up. But as opposed to applying more everywhere, which I don't need any more anywhere else, I can just simply spot treat those areas. And just take my brush and just blend. Yeah, and just a little bit more extra coverage. Just a little bit more extra coverage. Make sure everything's nice and blended. Our neck looks good. See? Nice and flawless. No issues, no areas that needs to be fixed. But again, you can always go in and spot treat as needed. But that's honestly like the key to me to achieving like a nice flawless base. All right, y'all, so here is the flawless base. Again, I know it may seem very simple to some, but honestly, these are things that I wish I had knew years ago when I was first getting started. And so I'm hoping that this video can kind of help some other people get further ahead than I was back then. Because again, I feel like, you know, the base or the foundation and the skin is like the start of a really, really, really good makeup application. And it's important to make sure that you get it down right. I am honestly loving doing these videos for you guys, so hope you guys enjoy them. If you guys are, let me know down below in the comment section. Like, let me know if you guys are loving these videos. If you guys are, what do you want to see next? You want to see concealer, lips, brows, eyes, whatever, let me know, okay? So I will go ahead and end off the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.